I'd like to call to order the monthly meeting of the Montgomery County Legislature, August 22nd, and let the record reflect it's 7 p.m. Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Diamond?
Present.
Legislator Redwell?
Present.
Legislator Wilson?
Present.
Legislator Duchesne?
Present.
Legislator Pep?
Present.
Legislator Isabel? Legislator Patel?
Here.
Legislator Kelly?
Present.
Legislator Sweet?
Present.
Let the record reflect Legislator Patel is present. If we could all stand for the salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence. And Matt Wemple, would you lead us in the salute, please? The pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for the moment of silence. As some of you in the room know, our clerk of the legislature recently lost her dad, so we can keep her in our thoughts. Thank you. Next portion of the meeting is a public comment. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please step towards the rail and state your name. Seeing none, we have a small presentation tonight by Gina DeBerry Gibbs from the Chamber. If you would step up, please.
Good evening. I just wanted to give you a quick update on our tourism program. I believe you should have received written reports. I had sent 2 quarter reports earlier in the year, and then we just wanted to do a quick update of some new things since then. From the reports earlier in the year, a couple of the highlights I wanted to touch upon were we worked with Old Fort Johnson to make a historic turnpike map that we passed out this evening, so you should have that. And with that, there's an Erie Canal brochure that the National Erie Heritage Corridor put together, and then our Path Through History postcard that we're sending out, and I'll touch on that a little bit further on. And then another highlight was that we had an article produced for our GoNomad.com, which is, we had a hosted travel writer during the bicentennial events in June in Amsterdam and at Schoharie Crossing. So we hosted the travel writer in conjunction with the Canal Corporation, and he did post an article on that, so that was good for us, especially with the bicentennial year starting, and it continues for like the next 7 years. So we have a lot going on with our historic sites along the river. And then I think you have an update in your packet as well. So the economic impact report came out, and New York State tourism economics, they grew again this year to another 2.7%, which is $65 billion in tourism spending in the state. And then the Central New York region, which Montgomery County is a part of, grew 6.4% to $2.2 billion in traveler spending. Montgomery County decreased slightly, it was 0.4, so we're still at $39 million in traveler spending. That was for 2016. It was about $100,000 decrease. When you're looking at those traveler spending, what it consists of is lodging, recreation, food, beverage, retail, transportation, and second homes. Transportation we're usually leading in the region in, and that was where we had some decrease. And we know from the multimodal feasibility study going on in Amsterdam with the train station, that Amtrak ridership was down last year, so that could be part of that 100,000 that was down. It's not a huge number that was down. And then coming up next week, we're hosting the Destinations Group Travel Show and FAM Tour in the Central New York region. The show takes place at Turning Stone, and that will be base for group tour operators, and we're going to take them on familiarization tours throughout the region. And they're coming to Montgomery County on Tuesday. They'll be stopping at the Mohawk Valley Welcome Center, the Art Hall Museum, and the Fort Plain Museum, and we'll be talking about our heritage tourism primarily. and what we can do for group tours and for individuals that work with tour operators. Central New York, we also hosted a Brew Central tent at the track this year. Again, this was the second year we've done that to promote our Brew Central, which is our craft beverage campaign. So with our wineries, distilleries, breweries, all that in the region, we hosted that again. And then last year, our Path Through History group for the Mohawk Valley received a CFA award, and the award was to create cycling routes stemming from the Erie Canalway Trail out into our communities, and we've completed that project, and bikethroughhistory.com has launched with several routes. We have about 5 from Montgomery County. Some are longer, some are shorter, some are family, and some are more expert rides. So we're promoting that at several shows as well. So we're going to get the New York State Bike Summit, World Canal Conference, and the Mohawk Hudson Marathon. We're also going to get New York Times Travel Show in January, and I think we're going to another international show later in the year to promote those. And then we also have our information at the State Fair and the I Love New York Pavilion. We have snowmobile maps, the turnpike maps that we handed out, and then our travel guides are there as well. Do you have any questions?
I think we're all set. The one thing I noticed on the Path Through History, the GPS coordinates
Yes.
for the, now, when you do the Bike Through History, with the, if you're on the app, does it signify when you're near a historic
Yes,
marker?
so they are, sorry, I should have explained that a little bit. The routes are from historic site to historic site.
Oh, they are? Okay.
So they do highlight different historic sites. That was the point of it. They are drivable routes as well, so if you're not a cyclist, you can download a cue sheet and go out and drive that route. The GPS is for, if you are a cyclist, they have their own GPS system that they commonly use, so it'll download to their format that they prefer.
Oh, okay.
But the routes are online where you can just print it and go out and drive it if you wanted to. So
Oh, great.
there's several of them on there. There's about 40 for the whole region. I think Montgomery County has 5, and then there's, I think, an additional 2 that loop between Montgomery, Herkimer, and Fulton. They kind of loop between the 3 counties.
Mm-hmm. Any legislators have any further comment? Gina, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
again this year.
Thanks.
Nice job.
At this time, we have a presentation, and if I could have our Director of Emergency Management, Jeff Smith, come forward, and also our County Executive, Matt Osafort, if you come forward. And Matt Wemple, would you please come forward? Step right up here, son. How you doing?
How are you?
Good, good, good.
I want to try to.
Get the executive in there.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I apologize for having my back to anyone, but I just was going to give you a brief overview how this came to be. Matt is working on his Eagle Scout, and in March of 2016, believe it or not, Matt's mom, who I worked with, her and her dad, Marina and Jan Wemple, worked for the Sheriff's Office. Marina contacted me and asked me if, with the new building, if there was a possibility of her son Matt doing an Eagle Scout project. So I immediately checked with the County Executive's Office, and at the time, Paul Claiborne, and since I've communicated with Eric Mead to get permission, and we all thought it was a fabulous idea. So working with Marina and Matt and his troop, Matt had to develop plans. We had to do a site visit. He had to do a bunch of paperwork, and then he had to get volunteers. He had to raise money for the material that he had to do the project. And Matt did a beautiful landscaping job along the new building that you'll see some pictures were taken. And Matt had to get the work performed and supervise. And let me tell you something, he's a slave driver, because you'll see some pictures with me with shovels in my hand, and that's unheard of. So, yeah, if you want to look at some of those pictures, initially it was just the rock, and these young men and women worked very hard and worked together. We did 2 different work days, approximately 4 hours each day, with anywhere from 8 to 12 people working, and you can see it looks very nice. And as those shrubs and those plants continue to grow, it's going to be something to be proud of. Makes the building much more aesthetically pleasing and welcoming. So I hope there is a picture in there with me with a shovel in my hand now. But I'm proud of Matt and his fellow troops and the troop leaders. They did a great job. They were very dedicated. You know, Matt had to keep records of sign-ins and sign-outs, logins and logouts, and break time, and breaks were few and far between, I'll tell you.
I'll just add that I was very happy to hear about this because it looked a little rough before you guys got after it, and it certainly looks great now. I just want to say thank you to everybody that helped out. We certainly appreciate it. We have a nice new building, and now it looks even nicer.
Matt, do you have any words of wisdom for us about the experience?
Words of wisdom? Well, it was a very interesting experience. That's all I have for it.
Well, hopefully a little bit rewarding. We all really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was rewarding.
I do have a certificate here for you, Matt, and I'll read it for you. The County of Montgomery issues and authorize execution of this certificate to Matt Wemple for completion of his Eagle Scout Series project at the Montgomery County Public Safety Building in Fultonville, a beautification project that included landscaping improvements and installation of fine flowers, shrub beds, and further recognize and celebrates him for the positive effort and impact he's had on the local community. And it's signed by the County Executive, Matt Ossenfort, and myself. Thank you. Now, if I could have the rest of the troop up, we have a certificate for you folks also.
Can we hire you on?
Good job.
The deal was he has to come back and trim them every year now.
Yeah. 20 years.
Yeah.
Hey, I got 3 to go until retirement.
Nice to meet you also. And the certificate for Boy Scout Troop 51. I can tell you, I was a Boy Scout, and I was in troop with a guy by the name of Jan Wemple. I didn't know if you were related or not, but my mother was the scoutmaster, and it was during the time way before your time in the late '60s, where President Kennedy had a physical fitness program, so that was part of our regiment, the meeting. And the sad new part of it was my mother could do more push-ups than Jan and I could. So I'll read the County of Montgomery issues and authorizes and executes this certificate, Boy Scout Troop 51, for assisting in the Eagle Scout Community Service Project, excuse me, that improved landscaping appearance in the Montgomery County Public Safety Building in Fultonville, and for helping to make a positive impact on the local community. And signed by the County Executive, Matt Ossenfort, and myself.
Nice job.
Thank you very much.
If you'd hang on a second. Morgan. Morgan.
Okay, got it, thank you.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
County
you.
Exec.
Thank you.
Chair, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Good job.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. You can say what you want.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we're doing good. Sometimes too.
Got lots more work we can do. Just let us know.
Mailman.
The next portion of the meeting is approval of minutes. This month we do not have any, so we'll move right to the budgetary transfers. Excuse me. Budgetary transfers this month, and I'll be looking for a motion and a second for July 21st through August 21st, and also the aggregate budget transfers for July 2017. So could I have a motion? Legislator Kelly, Legislator Hedwell. All those in favor say, or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Up now, I'll be looking for a motion and a second for the acceptance of the procurement record for July 2017. I need a motion and a second. Legislator Wilson, Legislator Peck. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Do we have anything under old business this evening? Not hearing anything, we'll move right to new business. I need a motion and a second to suspend the rules so that we can add resolutions 205, 206, 207, and 208. Need a motion. Legislator Peck. Legislator Kelly. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So we'll let the deputy clerk refresh her screen, and if everyone here can refresh our screen, everything will show up on your laptop and also on the monitor. Yep. All right. Yep, everybody all set? First resolution of the evening, resolution number 181. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Genuine Parts Company, DBA Napa. Sponsors were legislators Hedwell and Diamond. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Legislator Kelly, Legislator Patel. Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 189, resolution adopting introductory local law authorizing a lease agreement between Frank Rico and Montgomery County. Sponsors were legislators Diamond and Sweet. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Legislator Kelly. Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
The resolution passed. Okay. Before we get to the next resolution, I would just, 4 years that I've been here, I never had anyone come forward and offer to save the county money and anywhere, especially auto parts, where we're always paying a lot of money for that. So I wanted to thank both of you for coming and giving your presentation, and look forward to working with you. So thank you. Resolution 197, resolution amending the 2017 operating budget. Sponsors were legislators Pertel and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 198, resolution authorizing the easement for the installation of a telephone pole on the FMCC campus. Sponsors were legislators Isabel and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement with the Montgomery County Agricultural Society promoting youth days at the Montgomery County Fair. Discussion. Legislator Kelly.
I will recuse myself because I receive compensation and have authority to sign contracts with this organization.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 200, resolution of the legislature of Montgomery County increasing tax on sales and use of tangible personal property and of certain services on the occupancy of hotel rooms and on amusement charges pursuant to Article 29 of the New York State tax law. Sponsors were legislators Diamond and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 201, resolution appointing a member to the audit committee. Sponsors were legislators Diamond and Isabel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 202, resolution approving abstract of audited claims. Sponsors were legislators Diamond and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution, oops, I'm sorry.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 203, resolution authorizing county executive to execute change order number 1 with CME Associates for the FMCC, did I say that one? Allen House. No, I don't think so. Sponsors were legislators Pertel and Headwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Resolution 204, resolution confirming the appointment and term of representative to the Fulton, Montgomery, and Schoharie County Workforce Development Board made by the county executive. Sponsors were legislators Diamond and Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
If we can go on to our, that's the last of our regular, and we'll go on to our add-ons. Resolution number 205, resolution amending the 2017 operating budget, Montgomery County transfer stations, equipment post-closure. Sponsor, I need looking for a sponsor, Legislator Pep, and a second, Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Legislator Sweet.
I just got a general question on these 4 resolutions.
Yes.
Are these all urgent that they couldn't have done through committee?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's why we had it. As you know, it's a pet peeve of mine. I like everything to go through committee, and unfortunately, and specifically the last one, were of an urgent matter. Any further discussion? Yeah. Legislative or executive assets work.
And I will say they were, for the most part, items that came up and were timely, and I agree with the chair's sentiments and yours as well. We don't like to do these add-ons, but these were cases, and I just actually, the last one is a big issue as well. Yeah. But they were all just timely and unexpected.
Thank you, Executive.
What is the piece of equipment?
It's a new plow truck for the transfer station. The service truck that we have, the motor blew in it. So it's what the driver uses for mowing of the transfer stations, getting the equipment there. His transportation to and from for hauling leachate, that sort of thing. So it was kind of a mutual, the right piece of equipment came along at the right time. So Schoharie County, Otsego County, and myself, we all conference called in and thought this was, we didn't want to lose the opportunity to grab this piece of equipment.
So this is Montgomery County's portion?
That's the whole portion. That is, Montgomery County maintains all the whole budget for post-closure. John Bowerman maintains that. So that's, all 3 counties contributed into that post-closure fund. So that's just a portion coming up, so it's 3 counties' contributions in total for that.
And it's just a transfer, correct?
Right, from the post-closure fund to my equipment fund so that we can cut the check for a piece of equipment.
Add one thing to that, for those that were here when we were going through all that. Essentially, when this all happened, to have the landfills taken care of essentially by a private company was a lot more expensive than if we did it in-house, and we worked through the relationship between the 3 counties to do that. And it's actually been a great shared services initiative that saved us quite a bit of money versus what it would cost us to have a private sector do it. So they've been doing a great job.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 206, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign federal section 5311 of the 2017-2018 third-party agreement, Brown Coach Incorporated. Looking for a sponsor and a second. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Sweet. Discussion. Legislator Sweet.
Somebody explain it to me? I'm voting on it.
Executive asked for it. Do you have a read on that one?
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with this one. I know this is obviously related to our public transportation in the county, but I'm not as familiar with this one. I thought Ken was going to be here, but I refer to the justification portion of the panel, which I don't have in front of me. I apologize. I'm much more familiar with the fourth, but the 2 from economic development I know are solid when it comes to the content there, but I'm not as versed in the details.
Part of the 5311 can be related to bus purchases for certain routes within that application. It's a federal reimbursement program. I don't know if this is part of the competitive portion or not. But with the way transportation is structured in the county, I feel confident we can vote for this.
Legislator Patel.
It's just a pass-through.
Yeah, essentially that's.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions.
Resolution passed.
Resolution 207, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign a revolving loan fund agreement for Lee Newspaper, Lee Village Properties, Lee Shops at Wagner Square. Looking for a sponsor, Legislator Patel, the second, Legislator Headwell. Oh, Legislator Pett, Legislator Patel, sorry. Sorry. Discussion. Legislator Patel.
Just to bring everybody up to date on this is a new and exciting project that's bringing more revitalization to Canajoharie, the village, and this has to do with the old bank building that was vacated by Central National MBT previously. The Lee newspapers, Lee Village Properties, Lee Shop, we met with them, and they're really outstanding people. They're first-class operation, and they've got good plans. So I think it's a good project.
Thank you, Legislator Patel. And I'll just add, the thing that intrigued me and I was enjoyed most about the presentation was that 80% of the customers that they expect will come from out of the county. So they'll be bringing these people into the county, into the village of Canajoharie, and get to visit the other shops and restaurants. And I think it's a great thing, and especially with the Exit 29 project starting to move along. This is just another integral part of the revitalization of the county. So any further discussion? Legislator Sweet.
Is this a retail venture that they're?
Yes, it is. It's like a, for lack of better words, it's like a Christmas tree shop. They have their own brand of a teddy bear, which they'll be manufacturing upstairs there, and although it'll be, you know, a year-round thing.
And Pottery Barn type store as well?
That's what I understand. Part of it will be a pottery barn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Resolution passed.
Final resolution for the evening, Resolution 208, resolution to amend the 2017 budget, and this is for the State Training Program, Department of Social Services, and I'll be looking for a sponsor in a second. Legislator Pep, Legislator Kelly. Discussion. Executive Officer.
Just to put this on everyone's radar, this is essentially an increased cost that's being passed down from OCFS, and the commissioners and the executives and administrators are all pulling together because there's certainly some frustration amongst counties related to this. So hopefully we can do some advocacy on the state level to address the increase in cost, because it is going to be local share, so eventually.
Executive Matt, are you confident that the account that we're transferring the money from into this account will not need those residual funds throughout the remainder
I
of
was
the year?
reassured that about an hour ago in a discussion with Michelle Russo about this particular resolution, and I was assured so, and I haven't heard otherwise from Sean, so I think we're good for this year, but it's certainly something to keep in mind as a late budget issue heading into next year.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Let's see the final resolution.
Resolution passed.
All right, thank you, Deputy Clerk. Anything under other? Executive Officer.
I would ask if I'd like to update the legislature on a contract negotiation, but we have to do executive session. It's something that could wait till next month, but I would prefer if we could discuss it tonight.
Sure.
Really, what our bargaining needs.
Certainly. I'll just say this so that folks in the press don't have to wait around, because we won't have any further business after that. Just to refresh everyone's memory. Just an update on our budget process. So Tuesday, September 5th, the tentative budget will be filed by the county executive with the clerk of the legislature. And Saturday, September 9th, we'll have a meeting here at 10 a.m. To go over the review and go over the document. And I think Chairman Pep had mentioned that. So just wanted to give you those 2 dates for September. There won't be any budget workshop the second Tuesday in September, because we're having our meeting on Saturday the 9th. And so we'll have the committee meeting the following week. Let me just give you the date. So there's no workshop on the 12th because we're having our meeting on the 10th. So our committee meetings will be on the 19th, and our full board will be the 26th of September. So that's it. I wanted to thank our deputy clerk for helping us out this evening, and thank our department heads and the executive for attending. And I'll look for a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiations. Legislator Pep, Legislator Patel. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're in executive session.
I have a comment for you. Okay.
Looking for a motion and a second to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Patel.
And for the record, no business was discussed.
Yeah, a little bit.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. 7:45.